Turn the screen, Vickie, so we can see what we're doing. Oh, excellent. Yeah.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the 11:11 a.m. Fireside Chat on this absolutely wonderful Wednesday, September the 8th, 2021. We certainly thank you for joining us for the Richfield Stars Astronomy Update. Joining me today is Miss Margaret Riggs, who will be sharing some wonderful information with us. And we are at the time of the year, the change of seasons, which is an exciting time for astronomy lovers and sky watchers. So much happening in the sky, and so I have lots of questions for Margaret today. Welcome, Margaret.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for being here, and whether you are, either a novice like myself or someone who's very knowledgeable, there is so much to learn from this fine group. As a matter of fact, one of the members stopped by yesterday and told me the story about the little dipper, or it is commonly known as the 7 or 8 daughters, and they will be visible during the Harvest Moon Ball, in which we'll be doing a little sky watching. So I tell you, I learn something every time I talk to one of the members of this group. So we are going to talk a little bit about the Harvest Moon Ball, which will be on Friday, September the 17th, from 5 until 9 p.m. by the Lower Lake. And we are looking forward to everyone coming together as we celebrate this lovely season and have a perfect vantage of the soon-to-be full moon. Yes, fingers crossed, as Margaret is indicating, because as the astronomy world knows, it all depends on the weather. Is that correct?
That's certainly correct. You can't view much if it's cloudy.
True. So we are looking forward to you all joining the club and everyone as we dance under the stars. This event is at no charge. All IL residents are invited to come out, enjoy a lovely dinner of barbecue chicken, salads, green beans, a delicious dessert, and they'll have some specialty drinks as well that you may purchase. And it's just going to be a wonderful time in which we just get together and have some fun. We would like to ring in each season with some fun, and we're going to start right here with fall. So be sure to RSVP by this Friday, the 10th. You can do so by email to myself at vmiller@richfieldliving.com, or you may call me at 540-380-6526. Once again, email vmiller@richfieldliving.com or by phone at 540-380-6526. I look forward to hearing from you and seeing you. So my first question to Margaret is related to the harvest moon. What can you tell us about the autumn equinox and all that's going on in the skies at this particular time of year?
The equinox is on, I believe it's September 24th, where you start actually into the winter season, and you're looking, as we already have noticed, the days, sunlight, not the days, the sunlight is getting less and less each day. The nighttime is increasing. The autumn moon, the autumn moon is not quite full yet. It's what is called a waxing gibbous. Gibbous means that it is more than halfway lit. If it's crescent, it's less than halfway lit.
Okay.
Waning means that the lighted surface is getting smaller and smaller. Waxing means the lighted surface is getting larger. So right now, we are in the waxing gibbous stage of the moon. It's not quite full. Each night, if you look at it regularly, it will show more and more of its surface. We're in luck, again, if the weather holds, because on September 17th, the night of the harvest moon ball, the planet Jupiter is right next to the, quote, waxing gibbous moon. So it will be really easy to focus in on. Once you focus in on the moon, which is pretty hard to miss, then you can move the telescope just a bit and look in on Jupiter.
Awesome.
We can still get a bead, so to speak, on Saturn, because on the 16th, the night before the ball, the waxing gibbous moon is very close to Saturn. Saturn is not nearly as bright in the sky as Jupiter is this time around, but with the right lenses in the telescope, we should be able to see the rings of Saturn and maybe even some of its moons. Same thing goes for Jupiter. There's a phenomenon on the surface called the Great Red Spot, which is a storm, actually storm size, and just for reference, the size of the storm is about 3 times the size of the Earth.
Wow.
And the storm has been noted for, years and years, hundreds of years.
Awesome.
So it's sort of a continuum phenomena, and it changes. It's not always the same size, the same colors, but it's pretty much in the same position. 2 very interesting planetary phenomenon to view. Some of you may have noticed an evening star in the western sky. This is Venus, very bright star. It's easy to pull up on a telescope. However, Venus is totally cloud covered, so all you're going to see is a big white spot or dot or whatever you want to refer to it as. The thing about Venus, though, is it goes through different phases just like the moon does. It's crescent, it's gibbous, and if you look at it over a period of time, a different period of time, you can see the different phases. But otherwise, it's just a beautiful, bright light in the sky, in this case, in the evenings. Jupiter is more toward the eastern part of the sky, and it's equally bright. If you stand in an appointed place, someplace, and look to your left and look to your right, you can see two beautifully bright objects in the sky.
Well, as I mentioned, it is a very active season, or it can be a very active season. Lots of things to view and to learn, and as I mentioned, I am always learning something when it comes to this subject. It's just endless, sort of like the sky is, like space is. Well, I learned a few things about the harvest moon itself, why it's termed such, and my information says for several evenings, the moon rise comes soon after sunset. This results in an abundance of light, bright moonlight, early in the evening, which was a traditional aid to farmers who were harvesting their summer-grown crops before the frost came in, hence the harvest moon. And there's some other facts about it that we'll learn about at the Harvest Moon Ball, as well as perhaps during the meetings. However, the Harvest Moon Ball, it says that it's not like any other moon. Usually throughout the year, the moon rises an average of 50 minutes later each day. However, for the few nights of the harvest moon, the moon seems to rise at nearly the same time, just 25 to 30 minutes later across the northern U.S. and only 10 to 20 minutes later further north into Canada and Europe. So here we are looking at the moon, the stars all the time. We don't know all of this is going on, and that is the advantage of having the Richfield stars. So tell us, now we're talking about the moon and the stars and the planets that are able to be viewed. However, you need to know the techniques on how to do so. So Margaret, could you tell us a little bit about how one goes about it, what the process or technique is when you are viewing through a telescope or other viewing aid?
We hope that we'll have the telescopes pre-set up before the festivities begin on the 17th. However, since the moon and Jupiter on that night are in motion, it's necessary that we reset the telescopes periodically to follow the path of the moon and the planet. That will be done on what do you call it, the pavilion area, the deck area,
Yes.
the lower lay.
Yes.
There's seating around there if there happens to be several people that want to view at the same time. You don't have to stand in line. Like I said, we hope that we have everything set up, and again, we hope that the skies are clear.
Yes.
Something else that I have that, in case you get impatient, waiting your turn, I've mentioned this before. This is called a stellar scope, and it looks like a telescope, but it's different in that if you set the dial on the side at the particular date and time and look through it, you will see a picture of the night sky at that particular date and time. If you take the telescope away and look at the sky, then you should be seeing the same thing.
Oh.
Now, this also gives you the name of each of the objects in the sky, the large galaxies, the other it does not show planets, because planets' orbits are so much different nightly and yearly even than the stars. So sort of on your own with the planets. But it names the bright stars and the galaxies and some of the constellations. So it gives you a reference. And if you've been looking at a particular area of stars and wondering what they are and what their names are, etc., this can help you out. And I'll have that with me if anyone is interested in that. If you want to do sky watches on your own, then I'll be more than happy to loan it to you.
Awesome. I tell you, you have all kinds of little gadgets and information devices to share, which we do appreciate, because this is such a vast subject and you can approach it and the knowledge from many different directions, especially when you get technology involved. And of course, the Richfield Stars will be meeting right at 12 noon in the Roos 52 next door to discuss these and other subjects. And we certainly do invite you to join them. As I said, if you are a novice or someone with extensive knowledge, there is something for everyone and a lot of opportunity to contribute to informing others about this subject that is very intriguing. I must say so myself. And for the Harvest Moon Ball, we invite you to bring your binoculars as well, because you will be able to view a lot of elements through your binoculars. So be sure to bring your binoculars as well, and we just look forward to just having a wonderful time dancing to the great stylings of our own Ron Downing and the Henry Downing Band, who will be performing, and we are just going to dance and gaze the night away. So please be sure to send your RSVP and plan to join us for that wonderful occasion.
Is there any place else to sign up besides by phone or email?
Well, you can, any way you would like to get the word to me will be fine. If you'd like to tell your building manager, if you have misplaced the information on how to reach me, you may do so, and I'm sure they will get the information to me. You can call the town center at 380-4500 and inform Sadie, who will get the information to me. So any way that you find that, or you can communicate it with anyone, and I'm sure they will get that information to me. Thank you for that question, and thank you so much, and the Richfield Stars for all of the assistance with the Harvest Moon Ball, behind the scenes, helping me to select the date, doing the research of when the harvest moon will be visible. All of those preparations were thought of beforehand so that we could have this event that just has a unique twist I'm sure you've been to a Harvest Moon dance or ball, maybe perhaps, but never one in which you could view the stars. So thank you all so much for your contributions beforehand and for helping to facilitate the viewings on the night thereof.
Don't forget, the astronomy group is meeting in Roost 52 at noon. If you don't want this to interfere with your lunch, grab your lunch or bring your lunch and join us then. We'll be eating while we're watching and discussing.
Indeed, yes. Please do come and join the discussion. And like I said, there's something for everyone. In addition, also at 12 noon is the Learn at Lunch here in the chapel. So those of you that have RSVP'd, please join us here in the chapel for the Learn at Lunch series on brokenness to beauty, where Martha Furman will teach us how to walk alongside those in grief. And this evening at 4 p.m., it is Wine and Cheese Wednesday, right there in the Roost as well. So we'll look forward to seeing you all there for to sample dessert wines today. So for a mere $5, you can sample all of the dessert wines, have hors d'oeuvres with your friends and neighbors. So we certainly look forward to that as well, but we especially look forward to you all joining the Richfield Stars for the meeting at 12 noon. As Margaret said, grab your lunch, come on up, and they'll be discussing these topics and others. And a final programming note for the 11:11, on Friday, there will not be an 11:11 a.m. fireside chat, so I will see you then on Monday. But before we go, I have a quote from the Jar of Awesomeness that provides an artistic view of the seasons by Stanley Horowitz, and it states, "Winter is an etching, spring is a watercolor, summer is an oil painting, and autumn is a mosaic of all of them." So I leave you with that, and I do appreciate your joining Margaret and myself, and I thank Margaret as well as our studio guests for joining us today, and we look forward to seeing you at 12 noon in the Roost. Hope you all have a wonderful day and a great rest of the week. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.
Well appointed with elegant features, the Oaks contains a grand